Hello, my name is Robin Tamanaha. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist here in Santa Ana. So, today, what I'm going to talk about is when someone has been in therapy before, but it wasn't the best experience, and now that person is still wanting to do therapy with a new therapist, but kind of nervous or hesitant about it just because of the previous experience that the person had. So, first, as therapists, each of us are very different in our approach, the interventions, the treatments, and some of the coping skills that we use and talk about in session. We're also human, so our personalities also vary. So there's a lot of ways in which therapists can be different from each other. The good news is knowing what you didn't like about the previous therapy experience or even the previous therapist is something that's super helpful for you to determine whether or not the next one is a good fit. So some things to consider is, was something lacking? Like, were you wanting something more or like something specific and you didn't get it from the previous therapist? Or maybe it was a therapist. Like, were they kind of a smile and nod, kind of therapist? Or maybe it was the opposite where they talk too much. So really reflecting back on the experience and thinking about, what you didn't like or maybe what you did. If your previous therapy experience was in some way damaging to you, I would encourage, if you're comfortable with it, to at some point bring it up with the new therapist. And the reason why I say that is, one, to gauge their reaction. When you tell the new therapist your past experience and how it was damaging, is that therapist really empathetic? Are they really validating about your experience with that? And if so, then having a discussion about it can actually be quite healing, really. When I used to work in agencies, I worked in community mental health agencies, and there were some times where I got clients who, for all different sorts of reasons, now had me as a therapist, and they no longer had the previous one. So whether or not they had, a damaging experience with a previous therapist, I would actually still spend time in the beginning discussing what it was like to have that other therapist and to not have them anymore. Even if the therapeutic relationship wasn't super long, still going into, an office, really being vulnerable, sharing your pain and what you went through, like, that's huge. So I always felt it was just important to bring it up anyway. And I would up front, ask, like, so was there certain things like you did or like you didn't like, or was there something maybe you would have wanted more of or less of? And it really helped me when I compose my treatment plans with the client. And it's really important for the client to have active involvement in the treatment because it is the client's. So how do you ask these questions? Asking what you feel comfortable with, the things you really want to know. And it can be done in one of two ways. One way is, some therapists do provide phone consults. I know I do like 15-20 minute phone consults where potential clients could ask me whatever they like, whether it's about the treatment or about my experience, to really gauge whether or not they'd want to make that initial appointment with me. Whereas others who don't do that, then that's something that you may find out in the first appointment. And actually, you may find out even more in the first appointment because now you're not just on the phone with the therapist, but you have them in front of you. So you can really, get a feel for, like, what's this like? What's this person like? So I hope this was helpful. And thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.